The first chapters of the Heaven Saga were incredibly impactful, and in the sixth official chapter of this saga, we got an amazing revelation. They were the 12 Olympian gods. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how these incredibly powerful gods might be connected to the new bronze armors that will appear in the Heaven Saga. Hello, Knights and Amazons. Welcome to the Sempre Quis Saber channel. This is Wes speaking, and in today's video, we're going to reveal all the mysteries about one of the craziest theories regarding the new version of the Bronze Knight's armors in the Heaven Saga. Are you curious? Leave a comment so I know, and of course, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into this awesome video. If you follow the work of Master Masami Kurumada, you may have already noticed a certain pattern regarding the bronze armors in his work. With each new major arc in the story, the bronze armors of our 5 protagonists, Pegasus, Dragon, Cygnus, Andromeda, and Phoenix, need to go through an evolution. This isn't just an excuse to sell new action figures, although Bandai loves that, but rather a narrative device that shows the evolution of the characters and their powers. The armors were forged in ancient times based on legendary minerals: Nereus, Orichalcum, Germanium, and Stardust. They have a will of their own, and depending on the amount of damage they take, they can even die, becoming gray and dull armors. And to bring an armor back to life, a precious material is required: a liter of knight's blood. Throughout the classic series, we witness great evolutions of these armors. Right at the beginning of the series, during the Galactic War arc and before the battle against the Black Knights led by Ikki of Phoenix, the armors of Pegasus and Dragon, they were completely pulverized in the brutal fight between Seiya and Shiryu. That epic clash, where Shiryu used the Dragon's Fury and Seiya counterattacked with Pegasus meteors, resulted in the destruction of both sacred armors. To restore them, the story takes us to a harsh and mystical place in Benjamiel, located in the mountains of the Himalayas. This is the refuge of the descendants of the continent of Mu, the race responsible for maintaining the armors. There we meet Mudiares, who at the time was only known as Mu of Jamiel. This is the young apprentice, Kiki. Mu revealed a cruel truth. To resurrect these dead armors, cosmic tools were not enough. The sacrifice of a knight's blood was necessary. Shiryu, showing the nobility and loyalty that would define him forever, shed 2/3 of his own blood, putting his life at extreme risk to revive the Dragon and Pegasus armors. This was the first major evolution of these armors in the manga, where they were reborn with slightly different shapes and more resistant. In the Battle of the 12 Houses of the Zodiac, after facing the false Grandmaster Saga of Gemini and overcoming the 12 houses in 12 hours, the bronze armors were in a deplorable state. Reduced to mere fragments of lifeless metal, they were no longer able to protect the heroes who saved the goddess Athena. It was then that the surviving Gold Saints, in an act of extreme gratitude and recognition of the value of those young men, decided to donate their golden blood. The blood of Elisa's elite warriors, charged with the energy of the seventh sense, triggered an unprecedented evolution. The bronze cloths acquired a much more elegant design and concealed devastating hidden power. This evolution was so powerful that during the Poseidon Saga, whenever the bronze saints raised their cosmos to the seventh sense, their bronze cloths would shine with an intense golden light, becoming temporarily as resilient as the gold cloths themselves. This was crucial to face the marine generals, such as Sorrento of Siren, Isaac of Kraken, and Kanon of Sea Dragon. After that, time passed and the most feared holy war began: the awakening of Hades, the emperor of the underworld. The sanctuary was invaded by the specters, and we had the shocking return of the dead gold saints, now wearing the surplices, led by none other than Xion of Ares, the former Grand Master of the Sanctuary and Mu's master. After a series of tragedies and revelations, we discovered that Xion was not a traitor. His goal was to reach Athena's statue and bathe it with the goddess's own blood, revealing the legendary Athena's cloth. Before disappearing like stardust, Xion used the spilled blood of the goddess Athena, Saori Kido, to restore once again the bronze cloths, which had been destroyed in the previous saga. The divine blood transformed the bronze cloths into something beyond human comprehension. They gained a brilliant and more complete appearance, and also granted the saints the divine protection needed to cross the hyperdimension alive, the twisted and immortal path that separates the underworld from the Elysian Fields. And it was in the Elysian Fields that we saw the peak of these cloths' power. When confronted by the terrifying Thanatos, the god of death, the bronze saints saw their cloths turn to dust. Not even the 5 gold cloths sent through space by the remaining power of Poseidon were able to withstand Thanatos' power, and they were shattered. Everything seemed lost, but the author Masami Kurumada saved his greatest triumph for the end. Through the ashes of their cloths, driven by the power of hope and Athena's blood, the absolute miracle happened. By raising their cosmos to infinity, Seiya and the others awakened the divine cloths. These cloths approached the legendary Kamui, the sacred armors used exclusively by the 12 Olympian gods led by Zeus. The divine cloths granted enough power for the young bronze saints to defeat Thanatos and Hypnos, and even injure Hades himself in his original mythological body. And it's exactly here, my friends, that we reach the main point of this video. As we saw in the Next Dimension Saga, which is the canonical continuation after the Hades Saga, the divine cloths have regressed. They return to their previous forms, damaged and weakened, which indicates that in the Heavens Saga, the bronze cloths need to be reforged once again. But, as we know, all 12 gold saints sacrificed themselves at the Wailing Wall to open the way to the Elysium. Mu of Aries is dead. Shion of Ares is dead. The only person with Lemurian blood and knowledge of cloth repair in the current timeline is little Kiki. Although we know that Kiki is destined to grow up to become the formidable Gold Saint of Ares, in the Heaven Saga, he is still just a child. He possesses strong telekinesis and has witnessed great battles, but he barely has the cosmo or the experience needed to repair and evolve the bronze cloths, which are now destined to face the very gods of Olympus. The bronze cloths, by normal means, have reached their absolute limit. But if Kurumada intends to create new versions of the bronze cloths again, how would that happen? And my friends, the answer may come from Olympus itself. The new version of the bronze saints' cloths will probably be forged directly by the Olympian god Vulcan, the god of fire and the forge, who was introduced as one of the 12 Olympian gods in Chapter 6 of the Heaven Saga. In mythology, Vulcan is the equivalent of Hephaestus, the supreme blacksmith of the gods. He is the son of Zeus and Hera, who in the Heaven Saga was adapted as Juno, which is her Roman name. Vulcan is the one who, despite being rejected by his mother and thrown from Mount Olympus as a child because of his appearance, rose up and created the most powerful weapons in the world, these being the true Kamui. But why would Vulcan repair new versions of the bronze armors? As we can see in these few chapters released so far in the Heaven Saga, Olympus is not a united place. The gods are proud and full of rivalries, each having their own motivations. Zeus is absent. Apollo and Artemis want to protect Athena, but at the same time, they don't want to go against the orders of Olympus. And Vulcan, being the god rejected by his mother, could be more of an ally to Athena, being able to recognize in the Bronze Knights the pure resilience of fire. And that's why if Vulcan puts his hands on the armors of Pegasus, Dragon, Swan, Andromeda, and Phoenix, the result would be astonishing. As the craftsman of the gods, he possesses unimaginable construction techniques, being able to create the most powerful versions of the armor used by Athena's army, leaving the Bronze Knights' armors at a basic protection level, equivalent to the Kamui. Therefore, the theory about this alliance between Athena and Vulcan is the best narrative solution for Kurumada. To create new armors in this story, since this is the only solution after the fall of the blacksmiths of Jamiel, and it solves the problem of Kiki being too inexperienced to accomplish this feat. But what about you? What do you think about all this? Will Vulcan really be Athena's new ally? Share your opinions in the comments, of course. Thanks for watching until the end. See you next time. May your cosmos burn to infinity.